And just keep in mind that I already told y'all I'm not a mechanic, so if we fire it up and this ain't it, you just go, well, that idiot. Here we go. What's up, YouTube family? Gerald Greenlee here with Clean Green Lawn Service in Rainin, South Georgia, man. I don't know if y'all can see it. I made 2 passes. I got the Super Z under the thing over there. Because I got this Bahia, this time of year I usually cut it twice a week. I cut it, you know, like maybe on Friday or Saturday, and then usually like on Tuesday or something. Anyway, since I can't do that, I'm about to tackle the muffler. I'll let y'all hear it real quick so y'all can hear what it's doing. And that ain't even half throttle. Here's the new muffler, man. Right here, boy. I got the gaskets. Oh, I left the gaskets in the house, I think. But anyway, it's part number 603012. There it is right there, $334.95. The gaskets $1.95 each. And tax $365. Just so it won't make a lot of noise. So anyway, I'm about to figure out how to get this thing off of here, man. I really don't know. I know you got a guard right here. I'm guessing all I gotta do is pop that guard off. Got 2 bolts under here, 2 bolts on the other side, and I'm not sure what that heat shield's a part of. I don't know. The new one, oh, the new one has one on it. Okay. That's just, I guess, in case they don't get hot as quick as that does. But anyway, looks like what we got to do is take this bolt, the bolt on the other side, and then got 2 bolts under here. Drop this down, and then here's a nut right here, and there's on the other side, and a nut right here, and I'm sure there's one on the other side. So I'm not going to record all that because my battery's almost dead, but I'm going to plug this in, charge it. I'll let you see it when I get done, and we'll see if this fixes it. Hopefully. It's got to be it, I hope. If not, it's a $365.96 mistake. All right, she's off. Basically, a 12 millimeter on a 1/4 inch works really good. I hope y'all can hear me with the rain. And a 14 millimeter or a 9/16 with a 1/2 inch drive is what I took this bracket off with. I gotta charge this a little bit, and I'm gonna show you a little trick with that bracket. That might help somebody out. I had to go in the house to get my charger, so. The gaskets really aren't in that bad a shape, but you know, they're $2 a piece and I already got them. I didn't want to get the muffler and then take it off and the gasket be bad and then me not have a gasket, so I just went ahead and got them. But probably a good idea to change them anyway. All right, maybe the rain will slack up and I can get back with y'all to kind of show you what I've done. All right, now that the rain slowed down, let me give you a few specs on this, okay? So the muffler, this is a 2020 Hustler X1, and perhaps more important to that is the fact that it has the Kawasaki FX850V. All of these mufflers are going to be different, but for this particular model, it's a 603012. Look in your owner's manual. What I did is I got online and I downloaded, for all the mowers that I have a parts manual, and so you can download them. They're free, and I guess it's just part of, I don't know if that's part of the operator's manual or part of the stuff that you get with it when you get it. I don't know. I downloaded them into a file under my Clean Green Lawn Service on my computer, and that way if I'm looking at the Super S or the X1 or I don't have to go through the process of putting in a model number and all that because I have downloaded one specific to my model. You know, on the Hustlers, you can find this little tag right here, somewhere on the frame usually. You can't hardly see this. The model number on this one is 936799. And now when they put that model number in, it's going to, something in there designates that it's got this particular engine on it, I'm pretty sure. Or either the serial number does, whichever way. I had already found it because I have the right manual downloaded. Of course, the dealer, I bought it from them, so they pulled up my information, got the model number, and ordered it. As I said earlier, it was just the two. You got the two nuts to take off. This is gonna be hard for you to see, but there's one right here. This one, if you're at the back of the engine and you're doing one on this model, that one's gonna be your most aggravating one, the inside one. If you mechanic, you've got a knack for taking a screw and setting it on the tip of your finger and spinning it, which like that, or with just one finger, and that's what it's going to take to get in there. I tried just sticking it in a socket and doing it. There's just not any room. What I did is I put a little bit of grease on my flat washer, lock washer, and I stuck it up there so it would stay in place so I wasn't trying to fumble with both of them. Left hand side from the back, both of them are fairly easy to get to. What is the torque spec on this? I have no idea. Here's a good disclaimer. I am not a mechanic, okay? I snugged them back down. I gauged what they were coming off with the gun, and that's what I put them back on at, okay? They do have lock washers on them. They're snug. Those are like, you know, probably 1/4-inch bolts. They're metric, I think, but anyway, they're small. You don't want to hammer down on them, but you definitely want to get them snug. So I snugged them all. I would recommend, if you're going to change this out, to take the nut off that's hard to get to first on both sides, the inside nut. That way you're not trying to get it off and the weight of the muffler's holding down on it. Okay. Now let me show you under here if I can. It's done rained and I've got water all over the place under here, but I want to show you how to get this guard off. I'm sure y'all are smarter than me, but these right here are carriage bolts, okay? And they're behind this. Well, I didn't want to take this off, so what happens is you can actually take, once you get it loose at the front, you can hang this right here. And I know the camera's probably all over the place. Those carriage bolts will actually stay in there, and you know, with a carriage bolt you don't have to worry about holding the head on it. So what I did is that number right there, I just popped it off, and then this carriage bolt right here. I know the camera's everywhere. I apologize, but I'm trying to show this because this might, if I could hold the camera straight, it might help somebody. Anyway, so what you do is you just rock it back up there and you put that carriage bolt in. I'm gonna put it in real quick and then I'll show it to you. All right, so there we go. That carriage bolt's in, and this is just sitting up here. I'll put those on, and I'll tighten those down, and then we're gonna check it. We're gonna hope this fixes it. I mean, it was. I think I know when it happened. I'll tell y'all that story in a minute. All right, I got it back on. This is all the tools I use. I use a 9/16 or a 14 will work. That's a 14mm socket and a 12mm socket. I found out that the deep well was deep enough to go under the pipe. I couldn't use a regular socket with an extension, even a 3-inch extension, because it hit the frame. So that worked out perfect to get those nuts off under there. So anyway, I had some more stuff out over here that when I was trying to get that bolt on, but none of that worked out for me. So let me put these tools up and then we're gonna see what it does. And just keep in mind that I already told y'all I'm not a mechanic, so if we fire it up and this ain't it, you just go, well, that idiot. Here we go. to be honest, I don't know if it's been that quiet in a while. We are inside a metal building. That's pretty doggone good. All right, so I said I think I know when it happened. I know when I noticed it. Now, you know, Elro runs this piece of equipment, so Elro, you know, would notice things way before I do, or he should. But the other day I did an oil change on it. And when I do the oil change, I always crank it up. I let it run for about 5 minutes. And I try to make sure, you know, I don't have any oil coming out around the filter or any of that stuff. And then I let it sit there and I check the oil. Well, what I did the other day is I crank it up and I ran it, and I pulled it on that ramp right there. I had it out here. I put it over here by my water hose. In fact, you can see all the grass out there. And I take all these covers off, and now that's just, this will blow off. But what happens when we get out and we cut and it's wet, it gets all up under here. Like there's some right there. And I put it on the ramp and I clean all that stuff off because it'll drain out the back. And I was cleaning up in here and water got on it, and it seemed like it made some kind of noise, almost like a popping noise or something like that. So it's very well possible that all I did was cracked it. Matter of fact, my dealer told me, he said, if you can find a crack in it, just weld it, you know. And you can see there's a lot of rust down there. But I don't see a crack, but that don't mean that there isn't one there, you know. And I didn't really want to deal with all that because, see, here's the thing. If I take this off and I try to find a crack in it, I got to find it and weld it right then. And I can't be down a mower. I did look down in here, and it almost looks like in that little plate back there that it might have a crack in it. So I'm just going to say it's on the inside of it, and I made a good decision. That's what I'm going to say. Now, whether I did or not, who knows. But I don't look like I'm going to get my grass cut today. I wanted to run over it. It ain't raining too bad. I might... Yeah, I don't want to get soaking wet, though. But, anyway. Man, I had a sneeze. I was about to blow my nose off. I had to pause that. So it's fixed, and now it's going to be quiet, or quiet for a mower when we go out and cut. I like that. So anyway, hopefully if you got one, it's a simple change. I would say it probably took me 30 minutes to do it, and 10 minutes of that was trying to get that one nut back on. That one nut under there, I dropped it probably 6, maybe 7 times trying to do the one finger and turn it, you know, and get it on there right. And I tried some sockets and some different things to do that. But really not a hard change. Definitely not something, I mean, if you got a set of tools, you see what I had there. I just got a set of Craftsman's tools and some Crescent flat wrenches, and definitely something you can do at home, you know. So I think it's about time to change the plugs and all on it. And I think while I got it here at the shop, I'm probably going to go ahead and change them out too. And just go ahead and do the whole deal while it's in here. Because I work on them up here still. Because I don't really have a place at the other place to work on them yet. And while I got it here, I think I'm going to go ahead and change the plugs out. I keep a supply of plugs in here. All of mine use, or at least all of them I've serviced, they use the same plug. I put these NGK plugs in them. And so I got a couple in there, and I got another box of these somewhere in the midst of this. So anyway, I'm gonna swap these things out, and it already had an oil change, air filter clean last week, and we'll clean the filter too while we got it in here. But well, it's only run 2 days since we did all that, but I'm gonna do this real quick, and that'll be a wrap on it. All right, and there's the old plugs. They got a bunch of hours on them. They're probably overdue for a change. I set the gap at about 30 thousandths, you know, in case you're wondering. Again, I'm not a mechanic though. this engine does usually first thing in the morning when we crank it after it sits. It does usually put off some blue smoke. Again, it's got 1,200 hours on it, and it has got some rough hours on it. So, you know, it has been run hard and put up wet more than a few times. And right now we are at 1,254.6 hours. If you remember, we just hit 1,200. Well, I don't know, it's at like 1,250. So he put 4.5 hours of cutting on it today, and today was kind of a short day. You can figure on average we getting this one's probably getting 20 hours a week on it. So I'd say, yeah, at least that. At least 5 hours a day on average. So putting some time on it, man. Putting some time on it. I'm probably not going to end, you know, I fixed that muffler, and you know, if the engine were to go down on this, would I put a new engine on it? I don't know. That's the reason I went with the Super Z, because it's so well made all around the hydro system and all that, that, you know, look, if I go through an engine in 2,000 hours, 1,500, 2,000 hours, I'll just slap another motor on it, you know, because I feel confident in the rest of the machine. This one here, I don't have quite that same confidence. And it just, it's not, it's a good machine. I've done some reviews on it. You can go back and check those out. I'll try to put a card up here to one of the reviews, the latest one. But it doesn't compare. It doesn't compare really to the old Super Z I have, or the Super S that I have, other than it's here and not in the shop. You know, that's got to count for something, right? But you know, it's going to be a good backup mower, and that's what it's going to be. And it's going to be a mower probably that down the line will be used if we, like that property that I just went and did, that overgrown property, that this would be a machine that would handle that kind of stuff. So yeah, replace spindles and different things, yeah. If the motor went out, you know, I might get one off of another mower and put on it or something, but I don't know that I'd drop $3 grand to put a new one on it. So anyway, that's the deal, man. I'm stuck here now. My truck's at the shop, the other shop. And just hang out till my wife gets home, I guess. So anyway, hey, appreciate you watching the video. My prayer for you is always the same, that the Lord might richly bless you, and that you might see all of your blessings as from Him. Hope you have a great day.